What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Happy Easter Sunday to you all that are celebrating. Hope you have a wonderful day with your families. Now, let's get straight on to it. In this video, I want to talk about ETH. I want to talk about why the bottom could be in and share the evidence with you. And I also want to talk about the Pectra upgrade and historically what happened whenever there was an ETH upgrade. In total, we have 8 ETH upgrades historically. And we're going to go through all of that. So smash a like, guys. It's going to be very important, at least to take the emotion away from what you're doing. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're feeling FOMO, whether you're feeling the FUD, it doesn't really matter because everything you need to know is right in front of you. Now, I have no idea, but this asset is one of the most hated, okay? Either people never got into it back in the day for $1, or never bought it at $70 at the height of or the start of COVID. And ultimately, it's also the one asset that dictates everything that we do in alt season. It really is. Without ETH, there could be no alt season. Every single cryptocurrency on altcoin is indexed to ETH. So that's how important understanding ETH is. Now, what I've done very simply, I've taken an indicator for the mean gas fees paid, and I try to look at areas where when historically gas bottoms or tops, it kind of indicates, and it's the obvious one. I mean, a lot of you know that's the case. How do we know that? We know that through a normie standard way, or no, ETH prices are high and therefore ETH is expensive, or ultimately ETH prices are low. So we're going to do a little exercise. We're going to try and compare peaks. Okay, so let's go very simple, guys. Let me just get rid of that. Let me take this. Let's look at this area here, and quite simply, let's look over the gas area here. Now, if I go back to 2022, it's even more beautiful. The chart is even more basically clear. So let's have a look over here. We have a massive bear market, right? So let's mark this whole area. Okay, let's make this the bear market bottom. You can see that these prices from this drop here to here, you can clearly see how until, you know, when gas fees rise, you know, we can call this the bear market bottom. All right, so let's call this bear market gas. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, because ultimately we did have in January a spike here on Ethereum gas fees. Clearly see there, it's right there, right? For anybody who can't see that, I'll just make it obvious. There you go, a massive pump. Now, what do we see here? Corresponding, of course, we can actually use this chart perfectly well together. And what did you see? You saw a massive drop for Ethereum gas fees to where we are today. Now, this is the most important one. You could actually see here gas fees across this whole entire period. I mean, really, this is now, you can see there, gas fees are very low right now. You know, historically, I mean, since even 2021, they've never been this low. Okay, what does that tell you? Couple of things. It doesn't automatically tell you everything you need to know, because there is an upgrade coming to address gas fees. However, if we look at the, let me just give you, I proposed a question, which is in the VIP group, what is the historical performance? And we have it here. So these are all various ETH upgrades, okay? 2016 Homestead. 1 month before the price of ETH was $6. On the day was 12, and 1 month after it was 11. 83% pump. Then we had Byzantium. 2017, $290 on the day. Sell the news, 330. 1 month after, there was a 3% gain. The prices came back to $3. Then we had Constantinople in 2019, where the price was at $120. On the day of the upgrade, it went up to $140, and then the prices a month later were at $135. All right, 13% gain. Then we had Beacon Chain launch in 2020, where the price was at $80. Okay, a month before, which is exactly, you know, right now we're less than a month away from Pectra. Okay. And then the price, obviously, 13% gain. Beacon was a 92% gain. And then 2021 was London, 2,200 on the day, 2,600. A month later, 55% in the up at 3,400. Then the merge came. Now, the merge obviously was, you know, an incredible time anyway across the market. But merge happened in 2022 at the height of the bear market. All right. This was a 1,900 on the day. I mean, a month before, 1,600 on the day, 1,300 due to the, you know, the whole market was crashing. I mean, that was a very difficult time. Then we had Shanghai, 1,500 a month before, 1,900 on the day, 1,790. So what I'm trying to get at is, historically, these events are a massive, massive plus for Ethereum. So could Ethereum go absolutely bananas this cycle? Of course it can. It just depends on, you know, it depends on what happens. But again, you know, there are incredible targets. Should Ethereum break out at this level, okay? Because sometimes we get caught up in the moment, so we don't really assess. So yeah, 4,800 has to be annihilated or smoked. Okay, let's put a black line there. So Ethereum does have a great upside potential. And therefore, this alt season, even though, as you saw, sell the news, and of course, yesterday was no different. There was a lot of leverage. We spoke about this on a live stream. I did a live stream. I gave you exactly how many Ethereums were in the 24-hour candle, and it was something like 950,000 ETH in a 24-hour period, and it caused the price spike. Now, of course, there was a lot of leverage short that got liquidated. There's some well gain, but this is a major ecosystem upgrade. And could this potentially change the way we see gas fees moving forward? Okay, so the first major upgrade since Duncan in March 2024, Pectra comprises of the Prague execution layer and a hard fork for Electra consensus layer. It's the most ambitious Ethereum upgrade yet. With more EIP 11s than any other previous upgrade, Pectra will implement significant improvement to validator flexibility, so staking, network scalability, user experience, execution efficiency, and of course, a list of proposals scheduled for this particular upgrade. And it goes into more details in terms of what the upgrade's going to be, but it's going to be pretty big. One of the key things is also the staking validators. So more Ethereum could be put out of circulation for you know, and restaking as well. This is very bullish. Now, of course, like I said, could this, you know, is coinciding with the bottom, in my opinion, at 2022, early 23 levels. I mean, ETH is literally where it was Christmas 22, right? So you can't argue that there's more pressure to the downside unless you want to go back to, because ETH bottomed during the summer of 22. If anyone remembers that, there was the $900 ETH. Okay, so this is what's happening with Pectra. Okay, ERPs are a high impact on broader ecosystem, but will impact stakers and validators operations. Okay, and then of course there's changes, and then there's the roadmap to the mainnet for Pectra. In any case, what you need to know is this: Ethereum right now is a cheap asset. Okay, Ethereum price on a simple line just shows you all you need to know. Okay, So even if you had this trend, right? If you could take a trend line from here, you can clearly see that there's a trend there. Let's drag this forward. We've, of course, lost that trend. And you can clearly see that was a respected trend line for Ethereum, okay? So we need to obviously get above certain lines. And it is more clear. I mean, I can put this into candles, but it's way, way more clear. For Ethereum to be turning fully bullish, we need to come back and flip this trend line here. Okay, we've got to come back and reclaim the trend line right here. Okay, I'll just put this into a different color for you. It's as simple as that. And these are the absolute bottoms, in my opinion, for Ethereum. Now, could it go to the higher fib levels? Of course, the higher you go, the less oxygen there is and the more risky it is. But I think they will run this asset, all right? Because this asset is under pressure. There's strong competition from XRP. There's strong competition from Solana. And there are new, faster, cheaper, more scalable, sexier layer ones like Sui. And, you know, that's the question. For me, could we see a $10,000 to $20,000 ETH? I think that's a lot of smoke up there. And the oxygen is quite thin. But $12,000, or in this region, I can. Okay? I can see that. So ultimately, what do we take away from here? Historically, when gas fees are this low, it pretty much indicates that the asset has bottomed before a pump. And we can see here, relationship between this move and this move. And you can actually see that in every drop. You can see there's a drop here. So there's a drop over there, originating all the way from up here. And you can see how perfectly that goes together. And we can see areas of pumps in the past, and the prices do top together. Now, will Pectra change that? The aim is more for the validators and staking, in my opinion. But out of previous 8 upgrades, 7 of them have led to higher prices 1 month out from the upgrade. So I do believe, going back to the video, Ethereum will recover, and these are the lows, and I'm comfortable in DCAing into either Ethereum or any other project that I'm looking at, knowing that most of these charts have nowhere to go. Now, of course, you know, the doomers and gloomers will say, look, man, crypto is going to zero. Well, if that's you, then don't be watching this. But I hope you find this very useful, guys. You can cut the noise out and look at something like that and just see all of the things you need to see. It's very, very obvious. Very obvious. This asset is at the bottom, you know. So anyway, smash a like on your way out. Let me know any thoughts about Ethereum. Let me know my thesis, your thesis. And I hope, like I said at the beginning of the video, hope you have a lovely Easter, guys. Take care. See you on the next one.